Hello and welcome back to Leading with Grace. I'm so glad you're here today, whether you're driving, folding laundry, studying late at night, or just trying to catch a quiet moment in a loud season of life. This podcast is a space for real conversations about faith, growth, purpose, family, and the journey of becoming who God is calling us to be. Not perfectly, but faithfully. And today's episode is deeply personal because I'm currently living through a season of major transition. Not theoretical growth, not polished growth, but the kind that happens while boxes are everywhere. Schedules feel very uncertain, and you're trusting God one step at a time. Today, I want to talk about something God has been teaching me this week. I'm not bulletproof, but I am grace filled. Right now, my family is preparing to move several states away to what we're calling our forever home. For you military spouses and families out there, you know exactly what I mean right now. And if you've ever moved, especially with children, not to mention I have four of them, you already know this is not a small thing. There are boxes everywhere. Those black boxes with the yellow tops, yeah, everywhere. Decisions everywhere, emotions everywhere. And as we started packing, I had this unexpected moment. I looked around our current apartment and I realized how much we had accumulated over the years and how much of it we're just not taking with us, right? So much of it came from impulse seasons or emotional buys, buying things because life felt stressful or because we were tired, or buying things because we thought they would fix something internally, maybe. And we started donating more than we packed. And honestly, that moment became spiritual for me because sometimes God prepares you for a new season by asking you to release what no longer aligns with where you're going. Not everything is sinful, some things are just unnecessary. And growth often looks like letting go before moving forward. Now, at the same time, my children are finishing up their final weeks of school here in Georgia, and they're working so hard because they want to leave well and start in their new school well. And watching their resilience has made me so incredibly proud of my baby girls. Kids teach you something powerful. They adapt faster than us when they feel safe and supported. My husband is also still in his classes while I'm taking a 6 week break because I'm in a break right now. And every moment of downtime I had, he finds me and says, can you help? Can you proofread? And I love it. But our marriage is in a growth season and it looks like this. It looks like teamwork. Sometimes it's messy teamwork. But this weekend, life forced me to slow down physically. And through the moment that I had, which honestly scared both of us, everything paused. And in that pause, I felt overwhelming gratitude because I realized something. We are not promised control, but we are constantly given grace. Now, people often ask me, what is it like going back to school as an adult? And I think there's this misconception. People imagine adult learning sitting peacefully with their planners and their perfect routines, and that's just not reality. At least it's not my reality. Adult learners, we're parents, we're spouses, we are workers and caregivers and people navigating health challenges or moving homes. We're rebuilding our dreams. And the hardest part of school is not even the coursework, it's the life happening simultaneously. And this week, I almost felt overwhelmed trying to balance it all. But I realized something important. You don't wait for life to calm down to grow. You build structure inside real life. And that applies spiritually too. Quick missions moment. Through Royal Harvest, our mission is to equip missionaries, leaders, and mission teams with scripture filled, rooted tools that create clarity and endurance for the long haul. And this podcast is one expression of that mission. So whether you're leading in your home, your business, your ministry, or your community, you belong here. Let's build wisely because every like, follow, and subscribe that we get on these platforms, they help with this mission. And guess what? It doesn't cost you a thing. So we thank you for joining us. on this mission, and we hope that you will remain a part to the end. Now, this week, my devotions have been in Luke 11, and Luke 11 has stayed with me. In this chapter, Jesus is teaching his disciples how to pray. And what struck me wasn't the words themselves, it was the relationship behind them. God already knows what we need. Prayer is not performance, it is connection. And I realized I had been approaching prayer sometimes like reporting information to God, repeating my worries or repeating my requests because I feel as though he's not listening or he doesn't hear what it is that I have to say. But this week, God reminds me, I already know. I just want you near. Jesus is not distant. He is my friend, and friendship changes how you pray. You talk honestly, you begin to rest and relax, and you listen. And in a season filled with unknowns, moving, transitions, decisions, that realization brought so much peace. And yes, that peace that we're all seeking, and many claim not to be able to find, that peace that surpasses all understanding, it's found in resting in Him. But here's what I've also learned this week: I'm not bulletproof. I cannot multitask endlessly. I can't carry everything perfectly, and I can't control every outcome. And honestly, that's so freeing because God never asked me to do or to be invincible. He asked me to remain connected to Him. Grace is not permission for me to quit, but it does strengthen and it supplies my life through relationship. The world teaches performance, right? But God teaches dependence. And dependence is not weakness, it is alignment. Now, if you're in a transition season right now, and don't try to tell me that you're not, because I know many of us who are. Here are three things that's helping me that could possibly help you too. Number one, you have to reduce your expectations, but never reduce your faith. You may not do everything, but you can do what matters, right? Number two, focus on alignment over balance. Balance can be unrealistic at times, but alignment asks what matters most right now. And as long as you're focused on what matters most, then you're able to look out and see what it is that you should and should not be trying to balance at this time. And then number three, build small anchors. For me, it's my morning coffee along with my gratitude, my late night studying with a peaceful audiobook in my ears, or my short honest prayers. Small rhythms carry you through big changes. If you're in a season where life feels uncertain, you're not behind. You are simply transitioning. And transition is often where God does his deepest work. If this episode encouraged you, I'd love to hear what season you're in right now. And if you're exploring growth, spiritually or educationally, know that both journeys begins the same way, with one faithful step. Thank you for spending this time with me today. And remember, you don't have to be bulletproof. You only have to be grace-filled. Until next time, keep leading with grace.